Right, welcome to RC Cars Are Us. We're here with another car that we're going to program to my friend's Spektrum Pro. So I just realised he's got to update the software on this. So I've had to ring him and say, look, you need to get a couple of SD cards because I've programmed 3 models on here. And it says in the manual that if you update the software in here, you may lose them. So there's a lot of settings I've got to do. So I've had to ring him and say, look, get them SD cards. So he had to get one for the update software and then one so he can export the model settings to the SD card. When it's updated, he can put them back on. So we're back for this one. Now this one's slightly different to the TRX4. We're going to try and do this in half an hour because I've got to go somewhere. Same principle. This is slightly different receiver because I don't think you need to do the AVC, but we're going to see how that goes. I might calibrate it in the same way. We'll see how it goes. But with this one, it's going to be no locking diffs, but it's going to be mixing. So we're mixing the front steering, the front servo with the rear servo, and it's part of the 4-wheel steering thing of it. And then after that, we got to set the endpoints to make sure we're not going too far. We need to put the wheels on for that because the wheels turn and touch this bar. So when we set the endpoints, it's actually not to touch this bar. So we're going to have to come back again when we're ready and set the endpoints so they don't touch, the inside of the wheel doesn't touch the bar here. So that's what we set the endpoints for. So right, let's get on with it. Now you see me do the other videos. I hope the other videos are okay. It's the first time I'm doing something like this in this kind of scenario. So yeah, again, we're back. So we've done the old model select here, Revine or Revine. Hold on, is that spelled right? Okay, I don't know what's going on with my spelling at the moment. Anyway, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bind. Let me just turn this on. Let me just see exactly what this is going to do when we turn this on. Oh my god. Oh my god. I didn't think it'll be that loud. Somehow we've got to turn this speaker off.
Moments later.
Back to where we were. A bit closer. So what we do is, this is an SR C515. Doesn't need any other ports really, just needs one auxiliary and that's it. So which is auxiliary 1. So yeah, so now we're going to go to the bind page, and we're going to go straight to 11 because that's what I'm used to, and we just highlight the bind. So we're going to turn it on and keep this button down. There you go. So you see that flashing there? So because this has got no AVC, we can do it while it's leaning. So we're going to press bind on here. You can see. So I think it's, yeah, so that, yeah, so you don't need to set the AVC, so that works straight away and that stays on. So what I like to do is turn it back off. Oh, this switch is a nightmare. So let's turn this off. There you go. And then I like to turn it back on. Right, okay, so we turn the car back on. I don't think I need to calibrate the ESC on this one because It's a brushed ESC. It's got brush motors on there. Oh, what is going on with this thing? So that is it. So we are back again. So we know for the first thing is that's going the wrong way. So we're going to go straight to reverse. The steering. That's it. So that's it. Alright, so that's going forward is right and away is left. Alright, so come away from that. Now we've got to go to, so we go mixing, we go steering, and then we go to 4-wheel steer, and then it's inhibit, and then come out of that, and it says, you see it says steering aux 1. That means the second servo at the rear is in aux 1 here. Let me see. You can, let me just lift it up in front of you so you can see there, aux 1. All right. So come out of it. So here is steering aux 1. So we're going to leave it that way. Now, you want the positions to make sense. Now, what I'm aiming for, front wheel steer and then 4-wheel steer, where you can 4-wheel steer in a tighter circle. Then I'll put crab, and then after that rear wheel steer, because it kind of makes sense in succession, especially with the front wheel steer and the 4-wheel steer, because if you can't get around a corner and you're just doing it front wheel, you press a button and it'll go, and it will change the rear wheels to help it, to aid it do a tighter turning circle. So come out of that, and then we go to position 1. So we will go down to here, which is front wheel, no positions. So we're not doing anything here. Doesn't matter what I do, I'm not doing anything. So I take it that we need to tell it what switch to use. So you've got the little switches here. So the only options, switch on. So if we go switch on, switch on. I don't know what switch on means. I'm not too sure what switch on means. So we want to do that. I think that's position 0 is the first one. Let me just check. So position, right, okay. Right, that's not giving me anything. Right, okay, so I don't know what switch on means. So we've got IDC, right? Now let me just see what they are. I know D and C are these two. No, but what's I? Right. Can you see here? See that little I? That's switch I. So it depends how he wants it, really. I don't think he's gonna want to switch this. It's too small. It's too fiddly. So I'm gonna leave that in the center. Leave that in the center. So, and I'm gonna choose one of these two. So I'm gonna choose C, which will be this one. and then C will cycle for what I want here. So let's go a bit closer. So let's see. Right. See, now we've got proper positions. So we've got position 0, and then we can go up to the top, position 1. Let's see what it gives you now. So it gives you the 100 and 100 for the trim. Yeah. So it might be wrong because I'm not too sure if I'll be able to do the trim, so I've got to see exactly how this works. So, oh no, it is 0. It is 0. So that is 2. And then all that's got is 3. So that is right. Right? So now we've got the position. So we've got, there's my little thing here. So we've got 0, which I think you can just do the trims with the travel. And then you've got, oh, I've set the blasted timer again. I've got to sort that timer out. I don't want it on. Oh. So I take it that's normal travel, so we can do the endpoints on there, and then this one is when you are, I'm pretty sure this is the actual 4-wheel part of it, as in the rear of the actual, how much it moves. And I think, or it could be all together. So we got 3, and then 3 is normal. So I would have thought these 2 is the travel over all 4, but we can check that anyway. We can check that by mucking about with it. We know it's 100, don't we? So I think plus 100 is the front, and then minus 100 is the rear, because it's actually opposite. Or if you can't set that, it's just telling you what direction they go in. Right? So don't quote me on that. I can't remember. I can't remember right now. So so we got 1. If we do that, we've got both. Let me just come out a little bit. Come out. So we set that up. So we got 1. Let me just put this back slightly so you can see. Got 1, and we press this. Oh, press it forward, and then we got crab, and then we got that one. So how does this work? So okay, that's the way it works. So basically, let me just let me just highlight that. I don't know how to get the light on. Don't think so. If you can see these boxes, you see it highlighting, but it doesn't go past 3. You have to go back. So you press forward, and you can see the boxes are highlighting, and you press back to go back to where you were. So you press from front wheel steer, press it forward, you've got 4-wheel steer, right? And I think this is wrong. For some reason, this is wrong. They're the wrong way around. So you can see, let me just highlight that again. That is supposed to be crab. So these 2 wheels should be pointing the same way, but they don't, or point opposite ways. You see that? And then if I press if I go back one, see that one, that goes opposite, and these are going the same. See that? So I've got to reset that, but let's just check the last one. And then it's just rear. All right, so let me think how that works. It's either we change the positions, let me just check that one. Yeah, so that's minus 100 and that's minus 100. So it's either we can reverse that servo. Let's try and reverse it first. Let's try and reverse it. Let's see. I think there's two ways you can do it, but I'm going for the simplest first. So, right, let's reverse that. And then, yeah, so, and then if we press it again, nope. Right, yeah, that's going the same way, so that crabs. And then, yeah, yep, we got it. So that is, so we go back to mixing. And we go back to active. Now you can see that highlighted box is for tighter turns. And now we got it. Can you see that? Oh, let me just go back out. So you can see now, let's see, just out of shot. So you can see now, and then we press it again forward. We've gone to crab style, and that's crab style. All right, press it forward, and we've gone to rear wheel steer. So that is it. That is it. So now, let me just press it so I can put it again. So now we can go back, and I do it by setting the travel. So let me go off camera. I'm gonna put the wheels on, and then I'll be back. So I've stuck the wheels on. So as you see, press that back. Sorry, let me put it around this way. Forward, forward again, crab, forward, rear, back, crab, back. Okay. But the reason why I did that is because normally you'll go forward and then you'll press forward and you'll want a tighter circle, and then you rarely use crab, rarely use it, so you always just go back. And I could cycle all the way through, but that means you're going back and forth for a menu. So I've done it in a way where you just press forward and you can just press that, press back, and you go back. So they're the most two common ones you use. So anyway, let's do the travel. So now I've got it on this tyre. I can do that. You see that doesn't touch, but watch if I go this way. So we need to sort that out. So let's go to travel. I think you lot are gonna know about this anyway. So let's go to travel, and let's see. Yep. There you go. I'll put it back up. Oops. There you go. So we're going to go down to 77. So that's one done. That is one done. So Now, when we do 4-wheel steer, you've got that rear one. Is this rear one you can't see is rubbing. So I'm gonna do it on the travel of the actual auxiliary. So I'm gonna do auxiliary 1. You can do it the other way, where you actually go to the 4-wheel steer page, and where it says 100 and 100, you can bring it down, but I think it brings it down both together. I'm just doing it individually, so that's why I've done it this way. So you can see that if I press that, and then I can press it. There we go. See, it stopped. Then we go down to 80, and that's it. Hitting a little bit. Maybe just bring that down again. There you go. Just go down to 70. Yeah, no noise. That is it. That is all done. That is all done. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, click on the bell, and I'll see you on the next one. Laters. Summer sugar kisses left behind, and I don't wanna fall in love, just wanna be yours. Don't wanna be your love.